So today, AVerMedia sent us over one of their newest capture cards, the Premium Go Series GC515 Xtra Go, where we can power and record our handheld consoles. As we can see on the bottom there, it says dock for various handheld consoles, charging, displaying, and connecting. And on the back of the box, we've got USB-C ports for connectivity, USB-C for power. We've got HDMI connection, which will do up to 4K capture and display. We've got 3 USB ports for connecting a microphone, mouse, keyboard. What else have we got? Another USB-C port on the side there. We've got a mode switch and a headphone jack, as well as a micro SD slot. So lots of connectivity on the back of this small device. Let's get it out the box and take a closer look. So straight in the top here, we've got a information leaflet. We can see the other products that AVerMedia do for live streaming broadcasting. We just pop that to the side. And then we've got the actual capture card itself up next. So let's move that to the side for a moment and take a look. It's got a nice plastic construction. That seems to be depressible. Does that do something? We'll have to find that out. We've got the ports there, our SD slot, headphone jack. On the back here, we've got our mode switch, USB-C, USB-A's 2 of, USB 3 as well, that's good. HDMI, we've got our USB-C power and the connection for the device itself there. And nothing on the right side there, looking at the top. And a nice slot to slot in our, hopefully, Steam Deck, ROG Allies, and any other handheld devices you might have, which we'll check out in a moment. It looks like we get a USB-A to USB-C cable for connections. We got 2 more cables here as well, actually. There is a USB-C to USB-C, which I imagine with the angled plug there, that will be what goes into the top of our Steam Deck. This will go into the back of our capture card itself. And we've got a HDMI cable. Bonus! High speed as well, look at that, because we can capture 4K footage with this. And then we got the Quick Start User Guide, which should give us hints and tips on how to actually use it and if that button on the front does anything. Let me have a flick through and then I'll get back to you. So, looking at the manual, number 1 is pointing at that button that we were pressing earlier, and it is a hotkey. Press start, stop recording, and I think it might record to the SD card as well, which is very interesting. But for now, let's wire up this GC515 Xtra Go and get some consoles on it and see what it looks like and how it functions. Yeah, sits in there like that. There we go. And this like blue shroud thingy here protects and holds the front. Kind of works. Okay. Okay, let me adjust the camera up so you can see the screen. There we go. Pass-through is working absolutely fine. You can see everything as expected. Just going straight into my monitor through HDMI from the back of the dock. So with that capturing absolutely fine, we now need to check the capture ability. So we can either connect this to our PC via the USB on the back of the dock to our PC, which I think is labeled with a little PC symbol on the actual back of the device, or we can put an SD card in. And now we are capturing directly from the Steam Deck in 4K. Now, of course, we're only going to be capturing an 800p on the deck, but it should be a nice sharper image. You'll just probably see the jaggies from the Steam Deck a little bit more. So to capture, it's just fairly straightforward on the AVerMedia software. Picks it up straight away once you're connected to your PC via the USB. And in OBS, I just added a video capture device, and then the GC515 Extreme Go just appears in the list. Select that, make it 4K, full color range, make sure your settings are all right, and then it just captured. Straight away, no issues. Fairly pain-free. Well, exactly pain-free totally, actually, because it just works. Does what it says on the tin. I really don't know what I'm doing in this game, but I'm getting you a bit of footage, and that's what's important. Bit of spins and see how you can see how it's capturing. Straight from the Steam Deck. And we're using a Steam Deck OLED as well, just for extra information for anybody who's wondering. but it should be the same for any Steam Deck. The frame jitters are in the game, not the footage. When I move quick, this old Steam Deck feels it. Let's mix it up a little bit and get some Wreckfest footage. And here we are on the track. You get loads of particles flying about. Good for testing the capture. Loads of debris. Actually runs surprisingly well. You can see the aliasing being 800p on the actual game, but the capture is 4K. A couple of years old now, the Steam Deck. Still fairly impressive for such a small piece of tech. There is a minor delay on the capture through OBS, I'm noticing, but it's got pass-through and there is no delay on the pass-through. It is 1-to-1. So the pass-through would be a must if you were capturing and playing at the same time. Oh, nobody saw that. I came in a bit quick. We'll cut that bit out. So, as we've got some Steam Deck footage, there is a few things to take note of here. While using the pass-through, you will only be capturing 1080p 60 if you're pass-through in 2160p 4K 60, which I think I was doing, so I was only actually capturing at 1080 60. But if you're just doing the capture and no pass-through, you probably get the full, says there, 4K 30 if you're just doing recording. So now we'll take a look at the Switch 2's usability with the GC515. As we can see in the crevice here, we've got a little gap in the bottom. Now, I thought, how the heck does this fit? But the cable, how I had it around for the Steam Deck, I've switched it around so the flat end goes parallel with the Switch. And if you notice that kind of trench in the bottom, that's where that cable sits, which then allows this to just sit, and that is locked in tight, just with that plug being the perfect diameter for that slot right in the bottom there, and it stands up beautifully. So let's get this hooked up and capture some gameplay footage and see what it looks like. So we're going to start off on the Switch 2 with Fast Fusion, a great little racer that can test out the motion in the captured footage and see how the quality holds up. Still a very fast-paced game, though. Trying to remember the controls here. He's coming back to me. Overtake that guy. Get that boost pad. Oh, what? How dare he crash me? Let's catch up. Grab those tokens for a bit of boost. Right, let's switch it up, no pun intended, on the Switch 2, and go on Quake 2. The Switch 1 will work exactly the same as the Switch 2 with that wire on the bottom that holds it nice and steady because the Switch is quite a thin console. The only next issue I've run into is the Ally. It's a little bit of a thick boy to actually fit in. If I show you here, and I don't want to force it because it's a very tight fit. So that pad is against and that's touching the screen protector on this blue kind of front cover here. If I force that, that's probably going to smash that screen protector. It is touching both sides. If I can get this at a better angle. There we go. Hopefully you can see that now. It is touching both sides, and if I force that down, that's probably going to shatter the screen protector and yeah, scratch up the device. And that's not what you want. You can still capture, but it's not going to sit in that stand very comfortably. You just have to lay this on the side here with it plugged in. The cable's plenty long enough for it to be plugged in the back and then just laid there, plugged in, and you could still capture. And your other devices will sit in there fine. It's just the Ally seems to be a little bit wider. I've loaded up Edith Finch on the Asus ROG Ally. I'll bring up the command center so you can see that I'm on the Ally. All the settings there. And we're just going to see how this runs for a bit. We're at 1080p maximum settings. Capturing audio as well, which is a good point to bring up. Make sure you are fully updated on your ROG Ally. I was getting no audio capture until I'd fully updated through the Armory crate for the ROG Ally. As soon as I plugged it back in, audio was there, everything was working fine. So make sure you are fully updated with all of your firmwares for this to work.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning. With the house. I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms. Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral. In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know, or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back. No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Before you start capturing and recording with the Switch and Switch 2 primarily, you want to go to the AVerMedia website, the GC515 Xtra Go, scroll all the way to the bottom past all the information, and if we keep on going all the way down, to see all the ports and what stuff it does there in more detail on the website as well. And we keep going and we get to downloads. There's also troubleshooting down here, but we want to go to downloads, and there's firmware for the GC515 for the Mac as well as Windows, which you will need to update in order to capture from the Switch or Switch 2. And we'll also want a plugin for OBS. I still managed to capture without this plugin, but the plugin probably helps some things along the way run a bit smoother. We've also got utilities for Mac OS and Windows, which is the Assist Central Pro, which we can further customize our capture qualities and resolutions, as well as update that firmware itself through the Assist Central Pro application. And then in the Applications tab, we can download the AVerMedia Streaming Center application itself, which is where we will capture or stream our footage that we capture from our devices. Just a quick update on the micro SD card slot. I can't actually find a spare SD card that is supported, at least. I've got a couple, but they're not fast enough. So you will need a micro SDXC card with speeds of UHSI speed class 3 or U3 card, A2 V30 or higher formatted 2x FAT. And the following micro SD cards have been verified as SanDisk Ultra Extreme U3 1TB and Team Group T-Force Gaming A2 U3 1TB. So with all the testing and recording I've been able to do with the 3 devices that I've got, I've been pretty impressed. Other than the Ally not fitting into the actual dock, for me at least. I don't know if there's a different Ally that's slimmer, but this is the Z1 Extreme. So I don't know if that's a bit thicker than the other one. That's, you know, maybe it'll fit. But just to let you guys know, that is the case I've had. But everything else has been fine, and I've been impressed with the usability and the footage and recording of the GC515. AVerMedia have been doing this for a long time by now, so you'd think they know how to make a capture device, and it just works. Their software's pretty brilliant for capturing footage and streaming as well if you wanted to use it for that, but it also does work through OBS. And the GC515 being designed for the handheld USB-C powered devices, this is probably the only devices you could capture. Probably the Legion Go and things like that have all got USB-C connectability. HDMI is only for a pass-through, so you're not going to be able to plug another, like a HDMI console, like a PS5 or an Xbox in here. But AVerMedia do have other products that will be more suited to that. I think we're checking out one of those in the next video, one of their newer devices. So yeah, this does the trick. I'm pretty impressed with all the testing we've done with the 3 different devices I have. The ROG Ally Z1 Extreme, the Switch 2, of course, and the OLED Steam Deck. They all work perfectly flawlessly with the capture. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Is it something you've been wanting or waiting for as a dock companion for your handheld consoles? So you can plug it in, use it as a dock, it'll power your device as well as capture some awesome footage for your stream or video footage. All links will be down in the description below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Most of all, thank you for watching, and I'll see you peeps next time.